The Coliseum was a place where the best of the best threw down to see who would be the last standing. Some contestants came from nothing, just to rise to the top. What if I started with the bare minimum in Elestrals, just enough packs to make a legal deck? I would clash with other casters with the eventual goal of winning a tournament. Every win would reward a single randomized pack to upgrade my deck, with other rewards along the way. Will I be the last caster standing? It's time to enter the Coliseum. Welcome back to the Coliseum today, friends, gamers. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is. Hope you're having a good one. Recording this one a little bit late. This one is actually supposed to go up tonight on the 14th, Saturday. However, I've been crazy busy this week and I'm late recording and whatnot, so this will probably be a late upload. I apologize for that. But today, joining us in the Coliseum, we have Under the Radar, also known as Kel. Big shout out to Kel. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely do. I will have it in the description. He does some Pokemon stuff as well as Elestrals. The Pokemon stuff he does is like the I think it's like the PPL, the Premier Pokemon League, something like that. I don't know. But it's like a draft league thing, and it's super cool. So anyways, if you have any interest in Pokemon, definitely go check his channel out. Yeah, also we've been potentially talking about doing some kind of other Elestral series together, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, hopping straight into this game, I went first in this one and casted out a Jolteon, searched a Volcanic Forge, set a back row, passed it over. Kel casted out a Lumaru, set 2 back row, swung over the Jolteon with the Lumaru, forced me to mill 3. There was an Earthquake in there, Spoiled Fruit, and a Comagma, so very unfortunate start to this one, milling the Earthquake right off the bat. I will take play here though on turn 3, cast out a Comagma of my own, and as you guys saw, I have the Forge in hand, so that means I could play out the Forge and potentially crash with the Lumaru. Kel decides that he does not want that to happen, so he will go ahead and gaze the Comagma to stop the effect that allows me to draw and discard. Doesn't want me to see further into the deck nor threaten the Lumaru on the field, so I will go ahead and cast out the Forge anyways. Sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. We'll go ahead and cast out the Forge anyways, just to give the Comagma the buff. That way, if he decides to swing in with Lumaru, it's a crash instead of the Lumaru clearing the Comagma. So we do see another set with a background Kel side, and then an expended draw. So kind of okay with that scenario. I also see now that Kel is leaking his hand a little bit. I'm going to have to give him a reminder, so that way he's not showing his opponents what he's holding on to. I think I'm bad at the same thing though. But anyways, we will see the crash right there. The Lumaru will crash with the Comagma. I will have to mill another few cards. The Tornado was there. There was a Necruff. Forgetting what the other card was, but nothing too crazy in that one. Not like the one of Earthquake getting milled. I will take play right here, going into an empty board. So loving where this one is ending up right now. Hopefully we can start to establish some kind of board presence and get ahead. Yeah, anyways, now that we are caught up a little bit, yeah, potentially looking, like I kind of mentioned a minute ago, looking into some other series to do with Kel. Met Kel right before Dallas, and yeah, actually met in person in Dallas, and I cannot say enough good things about him. He's an awesome dude. Love playing with him. Love spending some time with him. He's just an awesome guy. I'm really glad to call him my friend. There's a lot of those kind of people in this community, but Kel sticks ahead of the rest. So anyways, hop back into the clash here. I do cast out a Kindleo, and Kindleo is unfortunately met with a poison tipped arrow. So took a minute right there, kind of thinking if I wanted to, get more spirits on Kindleo to try to do some more damage, maybe force out the other back row card. Opted not to do anything crazy. Just went ahead and swung for the 1 damage, and then the PTA was paid out in the end phase. So we'll pass it back over. Kel will cast out a Calfmail here, set another back row card. And Calfmail is really not great for us, just because we do have some guys that heal, but we don't have Ambrosias. But we have like a couple Sluggles in the deck. I think we might have cut the Quackle at this point. It's been a while, and I think I want to say we might have the Dirtagua still. But anyways, we don't have as many healers as some decks run, so it can get a bit out of hand when we see these healers hit the board and stick. Luckily for me, I do have a Verituka in hand, and we'll go ahead and cast that out. Verituka being a 3/1, however, it has an effect where if it attacks into something and that that something has equal or less enchanting spirits, it will just go ahead and destroy at the beginning of the attack step. So, and suppress as well, which would have been huge against the Capma right here, stopping the heal. Unfortunately, we do see the second Gorgon's Gaze come down on the attack, stopping the effect and negating the attack. So, a bit unfortunate right there, but you know, getting through another back row is a pretty big deal. And thinking if I want to do anything else right here. Actually, that Gorgon's Gaze, that Gorgon's Gaze actually wasn't played on Attack Declaration. That was just played on the cast, I guess, because I wouldn't have been able to cast out this necklace if it was on Attack Deck. So, kind of worked out in my favor here. We'll go ahead and cast out a Necklace of Harmonia, which is a bit weird, a bit clunky. I'm going to have to pay out 2 spirits here, but I really want to keep this Veratuka around. Some of you might think this play is very stupid. However, the hand at this point, I think, was Dracking in the second Volcanic Forge. And I really did not want to lose the Veratuka because that would have just meant the end of the game. So we'll just go ahead and bite the bullet, expend the 2 spirits for the necklace effect in order to keep the Tuka around. Pass it back over. We will see another set on Kel's side. And looking like he's got another cast right here, we will see a Dratora hit the board. So Dratora is a solid Elestral, specifically in a Solar Nexus list. It's not really seen in competitive decks, but it is a 2 attack and 4 defense. It allows you to Nexus a Solar, and then when you do, it allows you to heal 2 Solar. So pretty decent card for a Solar Nexus list, and that 4 defense is actually going to be an issue for us to deal with. So Dratora will hit the board in defense right here, and looking like there's no option to deal with the Veratuka empowered by the necklace, and so the Kafma will also get swapped to defense right here. And I think we go ahead and take play right here. Yeah, we'll draw our card for turn. And you guys will see here in a minute, this hand was just absolutely atrocious. And this was kind of also the reason I went with the necklace. I had the drops right here, and I knew I would be able to get rid of the drops on next turn, or get rid of the necklace on the next turn by siphoning off of the drops. So yeah, you see the Forge, and Dracking. So I drew the 3rd Forge right there for turn. Absolutely atrocious. So drops kind of fixing our hand up right here. We'll be able to draw 4, shuffle back 3, draw 4 cards. Looking back at this, I probably could have played this a little bit differently. I should have enchanted the necklace with double water because I have 2 Sluggles in deck, and I want to say I don't have enough in Underworld to currently get the full value off of a Sluggle. So probably should have thought about this one a little bit more before I actually casted it, but it's okay. I mean, obviously we didn't have Sluggle in hand, and we are playing on a hypothetical. But obviously, you guys know with me bringing up, that's probably what happened. So yeah, checking the Underworld right here, we do see the 2 waters in there. So misplayed a tad right there, but it is all good. This board's kind of interesting for me because Veratuka is a 3/1. Even if we re-enchant the Veratuka, it only goes to a 4. It can't clear either of the guys on Kel's side of the field right here. And because they're both in defense, its effect will not activate. So nothing would happen if, you know, I swing in with the Veratuka, regardless of if it has another spirit or not. So we go ahead and cast out the Sluggle, heal up to Water Spirits. I didn't want to just, you know, I could have re-enchanted the Tuka to buff its stats here, but I didn't want to, like, fall behind. There's also 2 back row over there, so I didn't want to, like, go too crazy. So yeah, just went ahead and cast the Sluggle, try to get a little bit more, get a little healing going. And we'll pass it back over, and looks like we will see an Ascension on Kel's side over the Kafmel into an Exaltus. So this is very unfortunate for us. The Kafmel being ascended over allows it to trigger its effect to heal 3 Solars. So we will see 3 Solars healed. And then on top of those 3, obviously the Dratora can also Nexus and heal. And then Exaltus, if you guys, again, another great Solar Nexus card. Not really good in competitive Elestrals, but it is a 3/2. It allows you to Nexus up to 2, and then if you do, you can search your deck for an Ethereal Elestral and add it to your hand. And so, kind of another crazy card. We will see the Dratora effect in Nexus first, Nexusing 1 from the Exaltus to the Dratora, healing the 2, and then Nexusing that spirit back with the Exaltus effect to search for the Ethereal. The Ethereal subclass is actually very good. I know off the top of my head, Ash Rabbit, Galaxy, I think all of those are Ethereals. Like, it's one of the better subclasses in the game currently. So Exaltus can kind of just get there's a plethora of really good targets for it to search out. And then right there we will see the Shattered Stars Celestlio being the search target here. So yeah, the whole Celestlio line, apparently all ethereals as well. So learned something new in this clash. I was not aware of that. Celestlio is a monster in its own right. I don't know if you guys saw the premiere that I ended up in second in. It was like midway through May. But Cobalt Sanderson actually beat me in the finals, and he was utilizing the Celestlio and really messed me up with it. The effect is it allows you to foretell 4, and then you can add any amount of, I believe, 1 cost solar Elestrals that you foretold. You can add them to hand, and then you can destroy that amount. So like if you let's say you add 2 solars, it allows you to destroy 2 cards on the field, and it doesn't target. And if you want to respond to it, you have to respond to the activation of the effect. You can't like wait until the foretold or the foretell is done. That's kind of what screwed me in the finals. So anyways, yeah, kind of a big turn right there from Kel, getting a lot of advantage right there, leaving the Exaltus in attack, which probably, I don't know if that's the right play, because I have the Verituka. That would force me to re-enchant the Verituka with a fire in order to try to clear it with its effect, or at that point I would even have more attack. There are 2 back row on Kel's side, so there's probably something I'm not accounting for. But anyways, we'll take play right here. We will go ahead and cast out the Poison Tunic right here, equipping it or empowering it to the Exaltus. Poison Tunic, as you guys know, gives -2 attack, and then if that Elestral isn't destroyed in battle, it forces the owner of the Elestral to expend 2 spirits. So, little burn tool right there, also a kind of a interesting stat modifier. Obviously, it's one of the 2 artifacts that we run, and it does us a lot of good. So I think we equipped that to the Verituka, and we did try to go ahead and cast that. Or no, we casted the Tunic on the Exaltus to take it down to a 1 attack. That's what it was. And then we went to battle phase and tried to swing in with the Sluggle over the Exaltus right here, since Sluggle is a 2, Exaltus is a 1. And we are met with an Argo. So real unfortunate right here for this one. We will see a Tunic come out on Kel's side, and looks like he will be empowering the Sluggle, taking it down to a 0 attack, which effectively means if this resolves, this attack resolves, I would lose the battle, take 1 from spirit damage, and then I would take 2 more from the Poison Tunic. So kind of in a rough spot right here in this one, hoping that back row can do something. We shall see. Also, watching this back now, I don't know if I did anything this turn in terms of, like, I didn't re-enchant. Obviously didn't cast. I don't know if I expended a draw. I don't remember. But anyways, I will go ahead and flip the Altar of Stars that I've had set here for a minute. I will siphon the 1 off of the, this is in response, or this is on resolution of the Tunic cast. I'll siphon off of the Sluggle to pay the cost. Then I will Nexus the Spirit from the Forge to the Verituka. I want to say I might have drawn another Forge here, so I was okay with getting rid of that one. And this was kind of a decent play on my side, because we were able to play through the Argo, make Kel use a lot of spirits here, and then Nexus and potentially be able to kill the Exaltus here. So I felt really good with that altar. Unfortunately, the second set was shield. So we've played through, what, 2 Gorgon's Gaze at this point. We've played through the Shield of Achilles and an Argo at this point, and at this point it looks like it might just be too much for us to come back from. So anyways, we will see, pass it back over, we will see the Exaltus effect trigger right here, nexusing 1 Solar Spirit onto the Datora to search another Ethereal, and you guys see the Lustragon right there. Lustragon, another great Solar Nexus piece. He will be able to also trigger the Datora to Nexus back, and then heal 2. Yeah, we're just falling behind. There's been so many heals on Kel's side. Like, this list is actually, like, insane when it goes off. It's kind of crazy watching this back, like, how much healing it can do, how much advantage it can generate. It's insane. Anyways, yeah, we will see the heal 2 right there. And we know there's a Lustragon in hand. We know there's a Celestlio in hand. And it looks like Kel opts to ascend into the Celestlio right here, which is definitely the correct play. I don't have anything on board for. I do have the Tunic on board, but the Tunic is going to get destroyed from ascending over the Exaltus anyway. So regardless of if he goes into the Lustragon or the Celestia, like, you might as well just go into the bigger one at this point. Celestlio, kind of went over the effect earlier. The card's cracked. I will go ahead and pull out the spirit damage right here, which is water, water, earth, lunar. I'm just getting ready for these attacks. Trying to get through this clash just a little bit faster. I believe Kel goes with the Celestlio effect right here because it doesn't, like, I don't have to have cards for him to activate the effect, like, because it destroys as well, like the amount foretold. So if he foretells 2 and then has to destroy 2 cards, it's an up to, so he doesn't actually have to destroy this thing, the cards on my field. So another reason that Celestlio is just completely insane. Looks like we will see the Dratora swap to defense here, which is a bit odd. I feel like at this point in the clash, Kel is just so far ahead of me that he would have been fine leaving it in attack and just, you know, getting the extra damage in. But I mean, you know, might as well play it safe. Celestia effect, we see the necklace, the Argo, the altar, and then there was one added to hand right there. I missed what it was, but that would allow the one card to be popped. Like I said, I don't have any targets though, so doesn't matter too much in this one. I want to say it might have been a Nebulio. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm going to take 3 damage right here. I have 4 on the board, so I will go ahead and put one of those back. And I'd opt to put a water back right here, and for the same reason I was talking about earlier with the Sluggles, and as I'm leaking my hand right there, you can kind of see. I only had one guy to cast, and it was going to be that Sluggle, so went ahead, casted the Sluggle, and mismanaged the spirits again right here for the second time with the Sluggle. I had which obviously I drew it for turn, so it's kind of the same thing as earlier where, like, you know, I got it off the drops. This time I drew it for turn, so it's like, yeah, the odds that I'm actually going to hit it are very low, but like there's no reason that I should not have done it. Anyways, doesn't matter too much. We see Luminary hit the board. That might have been what was added off the Celestlio. But there will be another Celestlio effect right there. We see the Argo, the necklace, the calf mail, and the PTA. So the Celestlio effect will trigger, adding the calf metal hand, popping my Sluggle. And then based off those foretells and the previous foretells, we know that the altar is on the board as well now. So we're just way too far behind in this one. At this point, Kel feels safe swapping the Dratora to attack. So I'll take 5 right here, leaving me with 2. And drawing the best card in Elestrals and the Endersloth for turn right there is not going to do it. Did have the Forge in hand, the Vertuka that got bounced, and the Hephaestus that was useless because we had already used the necklace and the tunic earlier in this clash, so no targets to search. Would have just been a glorified Nexus Bank had we drawn the second Kinleo. But anyways, taking an L right here in the first clash of this episode, and yeah, let's just hop over to the second one. Alright, we are back for game 2 of this clash against Kel. Go ahead, and we did win a second die roll here. I need to start doing like best 2 out of 3s or something. Maybe not best 2 out of 3s, but like I feel like it's kind of weird when, well, I guess in this case I lost the first game, so I guess I would choose to go first or second. But anyways, I just do a new die roll in every game because I only do 2 games with everyone. So anyways, going first, rambling a little bit right there. Going first in this clash, we'll go ahead and cast out an Ass Rabbit right here. Leaking the hand right there. Saw the bluff set of a necklace, and then I picked that up before I actually took my hand off of it and set a different card. I do a lot of bluffing with this deck because I don't have a lot of counter runes, so it happens pretty frequently. But anyways, we'll pass it over, and we will see an Ass Rabbit come down on Kel's side. The beautiful full art Kickstarter, Clash Kickstarter rabbit will hit the board right there. I obviously don't have Gorgon's Gaze, so I have nothing to stop this effect at all. Yeah, really hoping to get a win in this one, but this is I know I've kind of mentioned a couple times, like, this is a pretty bad matchup. Like, basically everything is a bad matchup for me. I get maybe not so much now as like it was earlier in the series, but like, you know, now that we actually have like kind of a working fire Nexus deck, much better. But yeah, like this deck is just like, it's crazy how much the Solar Nexus list that Kel built can heal and gain card advantage through the Exaltus. Like, it's just absolutely insane, everything that we saw last game. But anyways, set 1 behind the rabbit and then pass it over to us. I will go ahead with the Comagma. Comagma not met with anything here, so I will be able to draw and discard. Very hard decision right here. I opt to discard the Poison Tunic, and as you guys saw me kind of bluff set from leaking earlier, Had the necklace in hand as well. I don't know how, but every single time I play this deck, I see both artifacts. Like, every time. It never fails. Like, I don't know what it is. Anyways, yeah, I think I can't do anything else. I don't have anything else to set. I technically could do something else, which, oh, looks like we're getting crazy here. Yeah, go ahead and cast out the necklace, which is pretty interesting here. Enchant it with a water and thunder. Yeah, that's English. Enchant it with a water and a thunder spirit, and then I will go ahead and activate an altar of stars here. I will siphon off of the necklace, siphon the water off the necklace, and then nexus the thunder to the rabbit, triggering the rabbit effect here to get another look. So kind of a big brain play here on my part, using the altar offensively in order to get the rabbit to attack. I could have just left the necklace on board, which would have been probably, I mean, obviously would have been worse. I would have had to equip probably the Comagma with it, and then I would have had to expend 2 in the end phase, and then there could have been something on Kel's side to stop the attack. So definitely better to use the altar offensively, and as you can see there, it pays off because Comagma is able to clear the rabbit after we switch it to attack. So I will go ahead and set another card before moving to battle phase, and then the rabbit gets in for 2. So pretty big turn right there, actually. And I don't know, there's probably an argument here for putting the rabbit back to defense. I don't know, it's always tough for me. I'm a very aggressive kind of player. I always like getting the damage. Obviously we have the back row, which you guys don't know what it is, but it's very possible that it's just a bluff because, like I said, I do that a lot. Lumaru opts to hit over the Comagma here, which is just fine by me. I went ahead and picked up the rabbit at first, thinking that it was going to go over the rabbit. But Lumaru will kill the Comagma, and then we saw a Mudlet, a Jurtagua, and a Nekruff on those mills. So there's actually some pretty good mills. Like the Nekruff would have come in handy, the Mudlet would have come in handy here against this Lumaru. Luckily we do have the Eddy in hand, so we will go ahead and cast out the Eddy. Unfortunately met with a PTA, so kind of, I mean, we will still use the Eddy effect here. Lumaru being a 2 defense is very unfortunate here because our rabbit is a 2 attack and now our Eddy is a 2 attack, so we can't clear the Lumaru. So very good use of PTA. We will swap the rabbit back to defense, set another card past the turn right here, and Kel will pay out the PTA in the end phase, destroying the Eddy. Yeah. Pass it over to Kel, set a back row, swap the Lumaru back to attack. And we will see a Nebuleo right here. So Nebuleo, kind of mentioned it earlier, it didn't actually come up, but Nebuleo being a 2/1, allowing him to foretell 3, I want to say here. And we will see an altar, or foretell 4. We will see an altar, a Lustragon, I think that was an Ambro, yeah, and an Apollo. There's a bit of a miscommunication right here. The Lustragon, I think it's Celestlio that adds any solar guy, so there was whereas Nebuleo only adds like the Nebuleo line as well as First Light. So anyways, cleared that up, and then the foretells will go back into the deck. Nebuleo also has an effect where it gains +1 attack for every solar on the board, so it's currently a 4 attack. Really just hoping he doesn't have a divine right here, or you know, some kind of bank to get that Nebuleo high enough to take out the rabbit. And it looks like we're in luck. We'll just see a pass. Only run the 2 Thunder Spirits, I believe, which is a bit unfortunate because something that would have been nice here would have been a rabbit re-enchant. But anyways, we will go ahead and we will cast out the Sprouter here with a water. And as you guys saw in this clash already, we've already seen the Tunic that we discarded turn 1 with the Comagma effect, and then the necklace we used for the altar play earlier. So both artifacts already out of the deck. We'll just go ahead and water cast this Sprouter out. We will see an Apollo hit the board right here, which obviously was foretold last turn by the Nebuleo, so we kind of knew this was coming, which is buffing the Nebuleo by, what, 6? So it's an 8 attack right now, so this thing's absolutely insane. I don't think there's any cap on like the attack buff that it can get. It just keeps going up. So anyways, we will be losing a guy right here. The best target for the Nebuleo to swing over is obviously the rabbit with the 2 spirits on it. But there might be a cheesy reason that we enchanted the Sprouter with water. We'll have to stay tuned and see what happens, but we will see an Exaltus hit the board right here, and as you guys saw this thing put in work last game, it is absolutely insane. Exaltus will Nexus, use its effect to Nexus 1 from the Apollo to itself, allowing Kel to search for an Ethereal. And yeah, I think in his deck the targets are the Celestial line as well as the rabbits. Looking through here, I don't think Lestragon has the Ethereal tag, but it did, because he searched it last game, so it definitely does. Jertora might as well then, because I think Jertora is the pre-evo of Lestragon, I want to say. But we will see just a second Nebuleo grabbed right here, that's a great option. There's so much pressure being thrown at me right now. Just get another guy who's going to be huge is the best option here. This was a bit of a... the first clash was a very unfortunate clash because I felt like we played well and just couldn't really do much to, win the game with all of the advantage that Kel gained. This one's looking a little bit better so far, but we'll have to see because it looks like it's about to start snowballing. Anyways, the Nebuleo will take out the rabbit, and then the Lumaru will give the Sprouter a nice little smooch right there and do nothing because they're both 5 attack and do a 5 defense. We'll go ahead and draw a card right here, and we'll cast out a Tornado right here, which Tornado, you would think that I would go with the Apollo right here to get rid of those 3 spirits, but I will opt to go for the face down, which Kel, Tornado is like never played, so Kel thought it was a destroy, but cleared that up, sent the shield back to hand, so I shouldn't know that that's a shield, even though we do know it's a shield now. And we will see an Owloon hit the board and an Ascension into the King, the Drat King himself. So this is a very fun time in the Coliseum. This is the first cast of the Drat King, and this is like the exact board that Drat King wants to be casted into. So the Tornado to get rid of the shield here is absolutely insane. We'll go straight to battle phase, attack over the Lumaru, because at this point the Nebuleo is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Nebuleo is a 9 at this point in time. So nothing I can do about that. I will go ahead and take the Lumaru. And I'll throw down my Infinity Field Center here as the token and cast out the Lumaru, and then I will use the Lumaru to swing over the Exaltus, clearing 2 more spirits. So absolutely insane swing right here. We know the shield obviously now, so we got to be smart about that. However, we know there's another Nebuleo in hand, which if he casts that Nebuleo out, they both will be getting +5. And then that obviously can't threaten the Drat King because he has to take... The Drat King can't be targeted for an attack when something that it stole is on the field. So he would have to swing over the the roof first. And then I guess he could crash at that point if he wanted to. But anyways, like the worst possible situation happens here. We see a Peegleam hit the board, and Peegleam's it's not like a great card competitively, but it's like dumb in this scenario exactly because it sets the attack to 0. So... And it's a 1 attack, so it like basically can just clear anything as long as whatever it targets can be targeted essentially. Tries to swing over the Drat King right there. The effective Drat King, obviously it can't be targeted until whatever it stole is cleared. So we will see the Nebuleo being a 8 attack clear the Roo, and then the 1 attack stupid Peegleam kills the Drat King. It's so damn unfortunate. Like, Drat King hit the board, and I really thought I was going to run away with this one, but the stupid little bird that could takes down the giant king squid, unfortunately. So, falling behind in this one at this point, we're running out of gas. We will see a Forge hit the board right here. Don't remember exactly why I threw the Forge out right here. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's why. Going ahead and play the Stoke the Forge, which obviously to play Stoke you have to have Forge enchanted, so checks out. Grab a Kinlea right here. We know the back row is most likely the shield being reset. So not much we can do there. We can at least, we still have to try here. Like, honestly, this might have been a misplay. Actually, no, it's not a misplay at all. Like, I have to go with the Nexus to kill the Nebuleo, which obviously will take out the Forge. And then I do just have to go in battle right here and try to swing over the Peegleam. We know he has a shield, and we know that shield's going to be flipped right here. But we also know that he has the Lumaru that he searched last turn that can clear anyways, so we might as well just go in and take out the shield right there. So a bit unfortunate. We are super behind in this clash at this point. We'll see another back row set, and then we will see a Calf Mail cast. So I was still feeling okay in this one. I'm way up on spirits at this point. Don't know the exact numbers. Obviously, you guys see them on the screen. But the calf mill. Oh yeah, and then Kel was showing us that we were talking about something, and he was like telling me that he had the second P-Gleam in hand as well. So jacking was just not long for this earth. I think that's the expression. Yeah, we'll take the 2, and then we will go ahead and cast out the Sluggle right here. Sluggle will trigger the effect to heal. So being able to go a little toe-to-toe right here with the calf mill. And then this time we actually played it correctly. We have the 3 waters in the underworld to heal those 3. And then the Sluggle will be able to clear the P-Gleam at minimum, assuming the back row doesn't do anything. And so we're kind of still in this one. If we can somehow not allow the calf mill to heal, like if we just don't kill it and somehow, do damage through other stuff, because Kel's pretty low at this point. Unfortunately, we will see an Altar of Stars. What exactly happened? Oh, an altar. So the Nexus was from the Apollo to the P-Gleam. P-Gleam on receive sets something to 0. So doing that in the attack step allows me to basically kill, the Sluggle will kill itself swinging into the P-Gleam, taking 1 damage. I think that's how that worked last turn, and then I'm just getting the spirits ready for this right here. I'm already seeing 3 on board, and we know there's probably going to be something come down, whether it's another Elestral or Re-Enchant or an Ascension. We'll see something else at the board, and yeah, we'll see we'll see an Ascension over the Calf Mill, siphoning 1 off of the P-Gleam into the Celestlio. Calf Mill effect triggering, allowing for a heal 3 right here. And this one is looking very close to over. We do have the spirits ready to go right here, so don't have any targets for the Celestlio pops. But we will be taking 4 damage right here. That'll leave us with 3 on the next turn. Looks like the only way to get out of this would be an Earthquake. Like just swapping spirits around a little bit right here. I'd opt to throw in another water in case we do the other top deck, the other Sluggle like we did last game. Or no, looks like we might even have the Sluggle in hand. Yeah, we do have the Sluggle in hand, so we will go ahead and cast out the Sluggle. Nope, I'm a dummy. I switched the water on the last turn. I don't know why. Oh, in case I top deck the Earthquake, I wanted to keep the Earths. That was my only option. So yep, bit of a weird ending right there. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, with the Jacking going down in the fashion that it did, we just didn't have any gas for the rest of the game to keep up. So take a second loss in a row right here. This is a fresh losing streak right here of 2. But yeah, anyways, GG's to Kel. Like I said, big shout out. Go check out his channel, definitely. We'll be playing some more games in the future, potentially have some other stuff coming as well. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for the series. I love talking about the series, brainstorming, things that would make it more fun for you guys to watch. So yeah, let me know if you guys have anything in the comments. But yeah, until next time, see you guys later.